Ready?
You ready?
Okay.
We are live? Okay. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Beverly Public School Committee of the Whole meeting. We will be meeting jointly with our Finance and Facilities Subcommittee meeting. Today is Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. We are meeting in a hybrid model this evening using a remote meeting platform that is provided at no cost to our district while allowing for remote participation of members and public access to the open portions of tonight's meeting. We are also recording the meeting and we are being broadcast and streamed by our friends from BevCam. Thank you, BevCam. On June 16th, 2021, the governor signed Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, and in February, on the 12th of 2022, he extended provisions of those acts, which among other things allow for public bodies to continue to hold meetings remotely until July 15, 2022. This specifically suspends the need for a quorum and the chair to physically be present and asks our body to use technical methods to allow for safe public access. We would encourage viewers to utilize the BevCam streaming options this evening if possible. Also note that Beverly as a community has prior approval for remote participation on its boards and commissions, although the chair and a quorum will be physically present once the act expires. Tonight is a joint committee of the whole and Facility and Finance. We'll call Facility and Finance to order in a moment. This does mean that we do not have an agenda item for the public to address the body. Our next opportunity for resident voice occurs at our June 8th regular school committee meeting. To be able to address the body for up to 3 minutes on a topic either related to our agenda or not related to our agenda, you can show up in person on June 8th in the same location at the Beverly Middle School, or you may email residentvoice@beverlyschools.org to sign up in advance to receive links to this meeting to join remotely. Again, joining us tonight are members of the Beverly Public School Committee, various members of the district administration and leadership teams, and I will conduct a full roll call vote in a moment. At this time, I would like to ask our subcommittee chair, Ms. Lorinda Visnick, to call to order the Facility and Finance Subcommittee meeting, and then I would like to actually insert an item on the agenda this evening. So, Ms. Visnick, if you could call that to order.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lorinda Visnick, and we are calling to order the meeting, the standing recurring meeting on Finance and Facilities. Today is May 25th, 2022. We are meeting in a hybrid situation, and several of the members of the F&F committee are in fact remote. This means all of our votes this evening will be by roll call. Ms. Abel, can you please tell me whether which of my members? Oh, you're going to do a roll call, right? So I'll know who's in person.
I will do a roll call, and that will cover people twice in some cases.
Thank you.
Sure. Liz Karan is our recording secretary. She's present here in the room. We are also joined remotely by Mayor Michael Cahill. I think I saw him. Might be on mute. On mute, but okay. He is with us. We'll ask him to confirm that he can hear and see us in a moment. We're joined remotely by Lorinda Visnick, Dr. Ken-Ann McKenzie, Dr. Andre Morgan, Principal Aaron Sweeney, Facility and Finance Citizen Representative Paul Manzo, our Director of Food Service Christina Leal, City Councilor and Liaison to Finance and Facility Julie Flowers. I think those are all the remote participants. My name will appear there, as will Kim Allen, our BevCam connection. Okay. And then in person, we have Dr. Jeffrey Silva, We have Ms. Sherburne, our Director of Finance and Facilities, Dr. Suzanne Chirocek, our Superintendent, our Director of HR, Erin Brown, our Director of Special Education People Personnel Services, Bethany Splansky. One of these days I will learn your full title. School Committee Woman Kimberly Coelho, School Committee Woman Karen Robinson, and I am Rachel Abel, School Committee Chair. Does that cover our attendance? Okay. I do just want to mention that we are using this remote meeting platform. If you are a remote participant, I would encourage you to use the mute functionality, but you can keep your video on. But do remember that any audio or video that you do supply will become part of the meeting record. With that housekeeping out of the way, I would like to ask those of us joined here today and those of us joined remotely to take a brief moment of silence in recognition of the students and staff of Robb Elementary School and the unfortunate events that occurred yesterday, and to let the community members of Uvalde, Texas know that we are with them in spirit. 1 minute, please. Thank you for that moment. And Dr. Silva, may I ask that you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Our flag is right there. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We are joined by some members this evening. We are very excited to get to that. We have a little bit more housekeeping to take care of. For the Facility and Finance, Ms. Visnick, you have meeting records of April 27th, 2022, and I would look to you to work with your group for those approvals.
Thank you, Madam President. Are you going to share our agenda on the screen, or?
I will work on that, if you don't mind.
All right, that's fine. I have it next to me still. I'll run with it, and if you could display it,
If you would like to share it, it would save time.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right, are you seeing the agenda?
Indeed, thank you.
Fantastic. So members of Finance and Facility, we have before us, our first item on our agenda is to approve our meeting minutes. I'm looking for a motion for those to be approved.
I'll make that motion.
How about Mr. Manzo? I heard you, and Kim,
Second,
Ms. Coelho, may I have a second?
I gave a second.
Yes, thank you. I have a little bit of a delay here. I'm out of state this evening. I apologize. All right. Any comments, questions, or corrections? All right. Because I'm not there and because Mr. Manzo also is far, far away, but we're going to do a roll call vote. We'll try to go in the same order all evening long. Mr. Manzo.
yes.
Thank you, sir. Dr. McKenzie.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Coelho.
Yes.
Thank you. Myself, yes. Ms. Abel, is Ms. Ducharme in person?
She's not here in person and she has not yet joined remotely.
Okay, so Ms. Curran, that motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. And for the Committee of the Whole, I would entertain a motion to approve our own meeting records of April 27th, 2022.
I would make that motion, Ms. Abel.
Thank you, Ms. Visnick, and thank you, Ms. Coelho, for the second. Okay. Following a similar logic, we will be calling the roll. For April 27th, were there any edits, corrections that needed to be noted? I see no hands. Mayor Cahill. We're still not hearing you. We'll circle back to Mayor Cahill in a moment. Kimberly Coelho,
Yes.
Dr. Kenna McKenzie,
Yes.
Karen Robinson,
Yes.
Dr. Jeffrey Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Lorinda Visnick,
Yes.
and Rachel Abel. Yes. Mayor Cahill, can you hear us?
Yes, sorry about that, Madam President. Yes.
Yes, okay. That's a 7-0 on those meeting records. Okay, and now it is our pleasure to entertain with gratitude some gifts to schools. We have a simple gift to take care of first, Ms. Visnick, if you would, the gifts to schools for the month of April 2022.
Oh, okay, now I'm having I have not great bandwidth, so I'm gonna turn my camera off. Lest I lose my whole connection. I apologize, really struggling here with bandwidth.
Ms. Visnick, I can talk about what the gifts to schools are.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I am finding it, I'm sharing. If you wanna talk, Ms. Sherborne, that would be fantastic.
Okay, for the month of April, we received $200 from the Masonic Angel Fund. That would be gift cards to the fire victims on the Blaine Ave in Beverly, and $300 from Global Child for foreign language studies that would be used district-wide. Looking for a motion to approve the $500 for gifts to schools for the month of April.
I'll make that
So
motion.
moved. Second.
All right, I heard,
Miss-
that motion has been made and seconded. Are there any comments or questions on the motion? I'm seeing none. Here's our roll call vote again. Mr. Manzo,
Yes.
fantastic, thank you. Dr. McKenzie,
Yes.
fantastic, thank you. Ms. Coelho,
Yes.
fantastic, thank you. And myself, yes. And still no Ms. Ducharme?
No, but we are joined by the Assistant Superintendent, Dot Flaherty, at 7:41.
Okay, thank you. So, Ms. Crime, that motion passes 4-0. Jean, what would you like me to share next?
So
Ms.
the next thing is our donation from the Independent Order of Odd Fellows, Bass River Lodge, that's presenting a check to the Beverly Public Schools to Ms. Abel and Ms. Sorochek. We have coming before us is past grands, there's 3, Bill Palmquist, Rod Armand, and Don Rogers. And they've been graciously going to give us $10,000 to gifts to schools. And it's earmarked for the Cove Elementary School playground upgrades. And we do have the principal, Ms. Sweeney, online also.
It's our great pleasure to be able to do this. It's our great pleasure to be able to do this, and we know it's going to a good cause. And who wants the money?
The Superintendent.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
We are so grateful for your generosity. I'm sure the students and their families will really enjoy it.
I'm sure they will too. And at some point in time, do you have a timetable for when this is going to happen?
We can ask Mrs. Sweeney.
Mrs. Sweeney.
Yeah,
do you
so,
have ideas?
First, I just want to say thank you so very much for this generous gift. It's amazing. We're going to put it to full use for our AIM students in their playground, and it's been a long time coming, so we're so appreciative of this gift. We hope to have it done by the fall. That is my hope with everything working with facilities to get it, all the pieces into place. And I'd also like to thank Jean Sherburne for facilitating this gift as well.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, and we do have to follow procurement laws, so that's one of the things that we'll be starting to put it out to bid to make sure that we follow all the rules.
Can I just say a few words?
Yes.
Yeah. I would just like to say that Bass River Lodge of Beverly has been around since the 1800s. The Odd Fellowship is a fraternal organization of men and women worldwide. And you can see we have 3 links with FLNT, which stands for Friendship, Love, and Truth. And we strive to make the world a better place to live through the practice of friendship, love, and truth. We just 2 years ago, we celebrated 20 years of Odd Fellowship in the United States. It originally was founded in England way back in 1719 or something. But we've been here in Beverly since 1879, I think. We were originally on Cabot Street, now we're on that big building across from the police station. And now we're down here on Cabot Street. I mean, right. Tonic Street, right. But that's who we are, and that's what we do. We're similar to the Masonic Lodge, except that we're probably, well, we used to be called the poor man's Masons. That's what we were known as, because we're the most common. At one time, the Masons were very strict about who joined, but we have men and women, and they go right through their offices, and it's a non-profit organization, and like you say, the thing of it is, we're non-political, we're non-sectarian, and if you want to find out more about us, just get a hold of us. We're online, or come down and visit us sometime. And thank you very much. And I'm a graduate of Beverly Schools.
All right, well, thank you.
Many years ago.
Thank you very much, and our kids will be feeling the love. I promise you that.
So we'll take an action on accepting the gift in just a moment, but we'll take a 2-minute recess. We'd like to take some photos.
Oh, sure. Okay, all right. Yep.
Okay.
right.
Give me
Why,
a
I
minute.
don't know, but
So we don't need
We
this.
don't need that.
Move it out of the way. Yeah. All right.
There we go.
oh, we get on the post office and take them off the walls.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
very much.
And so just so you know, this is what I do. Here you go, Gene.
Yeah, we really appreciate
Thank you
it.
so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. And,
Thank you.
maybe in the near future we can do something else.
Really.
Pleasure.
Yeah, well, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
So much.
Yep,
We have more.
thanks
speakers.
again.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
Good night, thank
Yep.
you.
Yep.
We're always grateful to our community when they're supporting our kids. Ms. Visnick, I think you look for a motion first from the Finance and Facilities Subcommittee to accept this generous gift of $10,000.
Yes, Madam President, and I've shared the motion on the screen. Anyone from FNF want to do the fantastic honor of making the motion to accept this incredible gift?
So moved.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Looking for a second? Thank you, Dr. McKenzie. Do we have any questions, comments? No? Any hands in the room? Anybody want to speak? Absolutely incredible. I wish I were there to shake those hands in person. Okay, by roll call vote, Mr. Manzo.
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. Dr. McKenzie.
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. Ms. Coelho.
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. Myself, yes. Ms. Curran, that passes 4-0 with incredible gratitude.
Yes. And
Thank you, everyone.
with gratitude, we'd also like the Committee of the Whole to accept the gift. Looking for a motion.
I'll make that
So
motion.
moved.
Second.
Okay, we have Mayor Cahill and Ms. Karen Robinson. Same question, any questions, comments? I will do a roll call. We have Mayor Cahill,
Yes.
Kimberly Coelho,
Yes.
Ken-Ann McKenzie,
Yes.
Karen Robinson,
Yes.
Jeffrey Silva,
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick,
Yes,
and Rachel Abel, 7-0. Again, with gratitude, gentlemen. They've already left.
I
the
told them
building.
they could leave.
Okay.
Ms. Abel, can we just have the whole committee approve the $600 donation also?
That is correct, yes. We should also, for Committee of the Whole, I have $500.
500, yes.
Okay, we have $500 of April gifts to schools from the Masonic Angel Fund for the fire victims of Blaine Avenue, and the Global Child, the $300. Motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Any questions? We'll read the same order. Mayor Cahill,
Yes.
Kimberly Coelho,
Yes.
Kenan McKenzie,
Yes.
Karen Robinson.
Yes.
Always mess this part up. Jeffrey Silva,
Yes.
Lorinda Visnick,
Yes.
and Rachel Abel, 7-0. Again, with gratitude, we've accepted those gifts. And then, Ms. Sherburne, you have another agenda item for our subcommittee.
Yes, what I have to bring forward is the BevCam license to use space at BHS. I just wanted to let the committee know that the city is entering into a PEG program grant agreement with BevCam. That's for public, educational, and government programming. And a portion of that agreement is the license to use space at the high school that they currently use now. And what we did is we took what was under the tenancy at will and took the portion that talked about the space and what BevCam would do for educational purposes. It's the same exact language. Previously, they had a tenancy at will, and now they're having an agreement, and it's part of that agreement. So I need the school committee to approve that they can use the space that is outlined in on the wall here of the space, and that they would still be doing the helping us with education. And there's a line that says that their programming will not interfere with our regular school days. So if we do need to use that space during the school day for classes, we're entitled to do that. So there's no change of what we had before. We just need to have this, and this is good for 10 years.
For 10 years. Okay. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Paul Earl, and I believe he would like to introduce the new director of BevCam. So please come. The microphone is green, and thank you for joining us this evening.
This is live?
That's
Yes.
live.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for inviting us to the school committee meeting. My name's Paul Earl. I'm board president of BevCam and have been on the board since 2002 when, Kim, it was very, very different back then. Anyway, I'd like to give you a little context before I introduce Rob. When Walt Kosmowski, who a lot of you probably know, made a decision to retire and talk with me about it in late 2021, we set up a search committee within the board, which included 4 people, but one of them was Judy Miller, who I'm sure you all know, who's the school appointee to the board, to go find a new executive director. We also engaged an outside firm to help us. We ended up getting 21 very qualified candidates, pared it down to 10 semis, 5 finalists. As Rob could tell you, we put them through a lot of stuff, making a video, writing a paper, answering all sorts of questions, etc. And this process took about 3 months, 3 to 4 months. And then at a recent meeting, the board authorized making an offer to Rob Chapman to be the new ED of BevCam. And very fortunately, Rob accepted. A little bit on his background. He's now been on the job for 9 days. And he probably knows most of what's going on. I'm not sure. But he's off to a running start in many ways. Previously, he spent almost 30 years as an executive director in the community access media industry at 3 different organizations, one in California, 2 in Vermont. Most recently, 11 years at Orca Media in Montpelier, Vermont. And so his experience is broad in terms of geographic and very, very wide in terms of the industry. He's also very active, which is important, in public access media associations, including the Alliance for Community Media, which nationwide is the largest one, and he's been very active on the board, including being board president recently in the New England region part of the. So he's got very good connections all over the country, plus New England. So we feel he's exceptionally well qualified to lead BevCam forward in an ever-changing technological and media environment. And we're very happy to have Rob Chapman on board as the new executive director. Would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. As Paul said, I have been in this business now, I guess I'm starting on my 4th decade in community media, which does not seem possible, but time goes on whether you can't stop it. So it's been a pleasure getting to know. I mean, as Paul said, I've been on the job for 9 days here. I am now a resident of Beverly. I have renting a place, so I've actually moved down here. Actually, every weekend I go back up and get more stuff and drive it back down. But I'm happy to be a resident of Beverly. I'm looking forward to getting to know the people of Beverly. It seems like a really wonderful town. I am so excited, and I was just telling Jocelyn about how I've spent most of my life up in the mountains. I'm looking to a little time down by the coast and to get to know the coast, so I'm looking forward to that. I know that you guys are looking at the contracts from the language that was up there earlier, so when Paul informed me that I'd be coming to this meeting tonight and that you guys would be addressing that, I said, well, let me try to bone up on any questions and be able to answer any questions that they might have. But I do have Paul and Kim here to back me up with any sort of data that we might need. But I will say that in the 9 days that I have been there, I have been impressed by the commitment to the kids that are, we are housed in the high school. And I have noticed, I said, well, first of all, I noticed that the 3 of the videos that the kids have produced have won national awards at the Alliance for Community Media, which I will be attending in Chicago this summer. So I was impressed at the fact that the kids had already won 3 national awards for what is called the Hometown Media Awards with the Alliance for Community Media. That was very exciting. I also had my staff come to me and ask if they could buy 2 new cameras for the Media Lab school at the high school. And I said, like, well, tell me a little bit more about this and what's going on. So it's been evident that they support with equipment and training and also the sports coverage that BevCam has been doing. I've been very impressed with. I haven't done a lot of sports except when I was out in California, and I've been so impressed with the quality and the work that they're doing as far as getting the games out there. And I think that's kind of the 3 things I talked about this morning, Kim, but if anything else comes up, if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. I think also I would add that one of the things that the board I think was interested in when I was applying for the job was that we developed a youth media camp for the summer. So we're hoping to get that up and running. I don't know if we'll have something up for the summer. I think maybe like a beta run with some 4 or 5 kids if we can identify the kids. We'd also, I've said that I think getting into the middle school is very important because I think that they tend to be like the really good group that sort of really is just developing the idea of what media is and media consumption, media literacy. So I'm very excited to see what we can do. And I was very impressed with the media lab that I've discovered this today and said, wow, we could put this to use and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it. As Paul did, I have extensive history in the community media world. I won't go through my resume again, but I certainly am happy to answer any questions that you guys might have.
Rob, I thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Beverly.
Thank
you. Good luck making the migration. It's a multi-step process, but I think you'll really enjoy summer here in Beverly on the coast. I think Lynch Park is one of the best gems, but I also recommend Aubert Park over in Ward 1.
Okay.
Dade Street Beach is always easy access, but you'll find your way around.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome so much. I know, Ms. Visnick, your subcommittee will take on action on this. I do want to just let people know that we have our Chief of Staff, Jocelyn Ruel-Kursker, here in the audience. We also are joined online by Stephanie Williams, our city solicitor. If school committee members had any questions, or if you have any questions for Rob. I'm looking around the room for you, Ms. Visnick. Do we have any questions right off the bat? Okay, Ms. Visnick, as chair of F&F, would you call for a motion to approve the license to use the space at the high school?
I would be elated to do that, Madam President, as soon as I pile on a little bit and say how wonderful BevCam is to our community, especially right now. I have a son playing baseball, and they were playing away today, and I'm away. And I specifically, whenever the team's playing away, I always ask if the opposing community has a BevCam. And unfortunately, many times that answer is no. And so, BevCam is wonderful to us. They broadcast all our meetings. It's absolutely fantastic. So with that said, I would love to entertain a motion to approve this lease that is being shown on the screen right now for 10 years for BevCam to be able to use the facilities in our high school.
So moved.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Thank you, Dr. McKenzie, for that second. Are there any questions, comments?
Just a clarification, it's license to use.
License to use, not
No,
lease.
I did say lease. Sorry. I was close. An L word.
We'll make sure the meeting records are correct. That's great.
Okay. I apologize for that.
And knowing that we have resources here, if there's any questions from the Facility and Finance Committee on this action. Mr. Manzo, you're always good for a question or two.
I'm good.
You're good.
Awesome. All right. Then hearing none, here goes our roll call vote. Mr. Manzo.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. Dr. McKenzie.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Ms. Coelho.
Yes.
And myself, yes. That passes, Ms. Karan, 4-0.
And for the Committee of the Whole, I would also entertain a motion to approve the license to use the space
So
at
moved.
Beverly High School. Thank you, Mayor Cahill.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. From the Committee of the Whole, any questions for our guests here this evening or online? Not seeing any, but yeah, I echo Ms. Visnick's sentiments. It's been absolutely wonderful to have the support, especially during the last 2 years. It's been invaluable, and we appreciate everything that Robert and Kim and the whole crew has done to support us. So thank you so much, and you're welcomed to our meetings at any time, but they have them well covered as well.
I will just add that it's a pleasure to meet you all. I hope to get to know you more as I continue to work at BevCam. Please, if you have any questions outside, please, I'll always take a phone call from any of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. And just as a formality, we will take the roll. We'll start with Mayor Cahill,
Yes.
Ms. Coelho,
Yes.
Dr. McKenzie,
Yes.
Ms. Robinson,
Yes.
Dr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Visnick,
Yes.
and Ms. Abel. Yes, that's 7-0. Thank you
All right.
again.
The last item we have on our F&F this evening for a vote has to do with the school lunch price review. Ms. Sherburne, would you like me to share the document you sent, or do you wish to just speak to it?
Yes, if you could share it, and we will have Ms. Leal, who's online, speak about it and why we're at this point of needing to increase prices.
Thank you. So we have not gone up on our lunch prices since I've been here, which has been almost 4 years. So we were due to go up in 2021, but we got a little sidetracked because of the pandemic and everything. So we are required to go up based on the paid lunch equity tool set forth by DESE. So it is a difference between what the reimbursement rate is for free students and what it is for paid students, what our reimbursement rates we get. So unfortunately, our rates do not come out from DESE until July, but I took an average of what they are over the year. And so we are looking at probably a 7-cent increase from where we should have been this year, which would have been $3.18. So I am looking to increase our lunch from $3 to $3.25. Our breakfast from $2 to $2.25, and this is once again based on the lunch equity tool set forth by DESE. We also are looking at increasing our adult lunch from $3.50, which has also not gone up in the past 3.5 years, to $4.50, and that is the state recommendation based on the non-competitive food tool that DESE puts out as well. So those are the increase we are looking for. Just as a note, we are supposed to be going back to full paid meals next year. There is a hope that we are getting a 1-year extension from the state budget. It has passed through the State House, but is not passed through the Senate. But we may hopefully be hearing good news in July that next year, once again, meals will be free, but we do not know that yet and will not know that until July. Any questions?
Ms. Leal, can you explain that even though it's free this year, when we have to charge for second meal?
Yep, so we serve second lunches to students that do want a second lunch. We serve on average between 35 and 50 second meals a day. Most of those are at the high school and the middle school. So that is where, even though we do give free lunches, that time they get a second lunch is when we end up having to charge students.
Okay, before, I wish to entertain a motion so that then we can open the floor to any questions or discussions on this item. So I'm looking for a motion to accept this price increase as outlined by Ms. Leal.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Manzo.
Ms. Robinson, oh, you're wrong committee. So,
Second.
Ms. Coelho has seconded.
Fantastic, thank you. Now that we have the motion in a second, are there any questions for Ms. Leal or Ms. Sherburne on this item?
I'm not seeing hands here.
Okay, seeing none, roll call. Mr. Manzo.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Dr. McKenzie.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Coelho.
Yes.
Thank you. Myself, yes. Ms. Cran, that motion passes 4-0, and I will say that my son is one of your 35 to 50 customers who orders a second lunch every day.
I have met your son.
I do appreciate that those are available.
Yeah, I think my girls went in for seconds on the pizza the other day too. It was really good. Okay, so for the committee of the whole, we also would like to entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Do the committee of the whole members have any additional questions for Ms. Leal or Ms. Sherburne? Hearing none, I will take a roll call vote. Oh, was there a question?
I was just curious how many adult meals we serve, or maybe to whom.
We don't serve many. That is one of my goals next year, to really focus on adult meals, but we probably serve about 7 a day between all the schools.
I would say when I sign the warrants, I see the food meal tax receipts that have to go through, and I think that's about right. It's a little low.
Yeah.
Okay, if we don't have any other questions, I'll call the roll. Mayor Cahill,
Yes.
Ms. Coelho,
Yes.
Dr. McKenzie,
Yes.
Ms. Robinson,
Yes.
Dr. Silva,
Yes.
Ms. Visnick,
Yes.
Rachel Abel, Ms. Abel, yes, 7-0.
Ms. Visnick, before you adjourn, I did want to let the committee know that I did send out the Buildings and Grounds report, the revenues report, and the year-to-date expenditures report, and if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to me. And that our next meeting is scheduled for June 22nd.
And at that meeting, Ms. Sherburne, do we expect to have a guest speaker of our athletic director?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, FNFers, anybody have any last comments, questions, anything? Okay, then I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Mr. Manzo.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. McKenzie. That's not debatable. Here we go around the horn. Mr. Manzo.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. McKenzie.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho.
Yes.
Thank you. Myself, yes. Ms. Cran, that passes 4-0. Madam President, do you want me to leave the agenda on the screen for you?
No, I think we'll let that go. And so 8:08, the subcommittee is now adjourned, but the committee of the whole is still in order. Our next agenda item is to hear the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I originally said I wasn't going to share a screen.
I originally said I wasn't going to share a screen, but I do have a slide ready, so I'm going to pop that up
Okay.
if that's okay. Just to kind of keep us on track. So I have just a few things it's a very small amount of things for the superintendent's report this evening. But the first I did want to share with you, because we've been, throughout the last 3 years looking and having a discussion and conversation around everything. So our district dashboard, which we continue to update weekly, has been updated. It shows, as it has over the past couple of weeks, a few, sometimes a school will have a few more cases than others. Again, we know that with the home testing that's available now, our reporting is less than accurate in terms of that. We do know, however, probably more so on the school side than in the community side, because when students are out, nurses make phone calls and say, are you out and why are you out? And so we actually probably think we have better records, for that regard, as far as what parents report. So our numbers are here listed, and then we do, as always, talk with Teresa Kirsch in the Board of Health, and I just keep these numbers updated. I've been rolling through these numbers for the last couple of years, so you can see, again, I think this number is more difficult to judge accuracy, because I do believe that a great number of home cases are probably going unreported. So we have put that up. I did have some conversations and questions at Cabinet today with our leadership team. I know that the Board of Health has issued a statement that they are recommending masks for indoors. I just want to repeat, our schools are optional for masking. We do encourage anyone that feels that they want to come to school and wear a mask to do so. We have masks available always at our entrances for anyone coming in as they go into our buildings. And so just wanted to sort of clarify for everyone, we again continue with our optional masking. And we actually, Dr. Flaherty and I were speaking today, and we've seen a few more people wearing masks in the last couple of days in the building. So I think some people are heeding the recommendations of the Board of Health. And if they continue to do so, we'll continue to support that optional masking within our schools. And so that's the information that I have on that. And then I only really have two other small, quick items. Just a reminder to the school committee that we will be presenting the city council is at the point where they are now having individual departments come and present their budgets to them in their budget process, which will culminate in their vote and to approve the mayor's budget. And so the school department will be presenting their portion of the budget on June 15th at 6:30 in the City Hall chambers. Love it for anybody that wants to join us to be there. I will be presenting, I think I'll be trying to condense the 6 months worth of information that we have gone through as we prepared our budget, just to sort of update the city council and let them know how and why we came to the decisions that we came to as we went through our process. So that will be on June 16th at 6:30. And then my last little item is the Showcase of Learning. Next school committee meeting that we have, the regular school committee meeting is at 7:30. Sissel is at 6:30. Preceding that, from 5:15 to 6:15 in the middle school here in the first floor cafeteria, we will be having our Showcase of Learning. We had a great Showcase of Learning a few years ago. We have not been able to do it in the past couple of years. We're very excited. You'll see demonstrations of learning and showcases of learning from our students from pre-K through 12. We'll have, there's music. We're going to have the award-winning middle school jazz band performing, we think outside, if we can get that to work. We're having the BSO strings performing for us as well. We're having some snacks and treats from our culinary programs up at the high school. And we're really excited to put on display a lot of the fantastic work that our students have been doing throughout the year. So I think the model is that across the elementaries, each school will be representing a grade level. So you'll see samples of work from every school at different grade levels. And then the middle school and high school will have some samples of work to present as well. So welcome, everyone is welcome to join us from 5:15 to 6:15 prior to the start of the curriculum instruction meeting. So that's all I have for that.
Thank you, Dr. Turchak. My list is also small, but it's filled with dates, so you might want to take note. I do want to just reiterate, our next regular school committee meeting is on June 8th, and that follows the Showcase on Learning and our CISL meeting, which is also on June 8th. Our June 8th meeting, we are starting to build our agenda already, so please do let me know if there's any topics. I do want to say that is the day that Bev Ed will be joining us to do presentations to teachers for the scholarships. We also will be looking at a resolution that our Teachers Association with the chair wants to present for our consideration. So the packet will be coming out a bit earlier, and I would encourage members to take a look at that resolution so that we might take action on it that evening. Our other meetings for June are on the 22nd. Those are our Facility and Finance and our Committee of the Whole. That will end our time. I had asked the body to consider if we wanted to do a retreat, and I haven't really heard much from people about the specific topic or an alternate date. So at this point, we'll plan to meet as Committee of the Whole on the 22nd, unless something changes. Also on your calendars, we're going to be honoring our seniors at graduation at Hurd on June 5th. So do make sure that's on your calendar. That's a Sunday. I'm saying the weather is going to be perfect, as usual, and we're going to be at Hurd. But of course, there is weather considerations as well. But most excitingly, my calendar has 2 events this Friday. I believe we were each invited to the academic awards at the auditorium at the high school, and then the Reach Fair, which has been my all-time favorite. Just like our Showcase on Learning, this is an opportunity for our seniors to present their projects and their community service and their internships to us, and it's an absolutely fantastic time if you can scoot out of work or make time to be there. You all have the invitations in your school email. I double-checked to make sure everybody was on there, so do try to make time to be at those. We also have Scholarship Night on June 1st, Wednesday, June 1st, and that's always a lovely evening as well. And I'm sure there's a lot of other events, but those are the ones that made my calendar. So do look at the district calendar. There's a lot of opportunities. We have the spring concerts at the high school, as well as, I think that's tomorrow night, right? Thursday. Tomorrow night. And I believe they might be having a book fair of some sort. I think Barb Fecto had mentioned that during CISL.
I think she did mention that, yeah, during
Yeah.
CISL, that it will be going on, and they're hoping that that's a real draw,
Yeah, so you can hear some music, buy some books, get your students some new books for the summer. And then I know the middle school, the second week of June, I believe, the 7th and 9th. Yeah, there's so many things on my calendar, but looking forward to having the choral and the band and strings concerts here at the middle school as well. And I'm sure the elementary schools have chock-a-block calendars filled with fun events. With that, I think that's all I needed to convey this evening. This is a committee of the whole, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Coelho. Thank you, Dr. Silva beat you by a hair. Blame the interweb.
Ms. Abel,
Yes,
before you call the roll,
yes.
can I just pile on with the senior events? June 1st is also the senior clap out.
That is correct.
If you want to go back to your elementary school and see, it's the coolest thing.
And that's at 9 a.m., I believe, or generally it's at 9 a.m.
I believe that to be true.
Okay, with that, I will call the roll. Adjournment is not debatable. Mayor Cahill?
Yes.
Ms. Coelho?
Yes.
Dr. McKenzie?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Dr. Silva?
Yes.
Ms. Visnick? Ms. Abel, yes. 7-0, 818. Thank you so much, BevCam. Thank you all for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.